Hello guys. I am now just making an off the bat video for you guys, and decided to call it about scam sites too. And I am making it because of a comment that I have got this morning. Now, this person I am of course not trying to make look bad or anything. However, the things that he is saying are not true about these lovedoll scam sites that he is talking about when he put a quote on my other video about lovedoll scam sites, the first part, of course. So let's just read his comment real quick and I'll try to kind of talk about it. By the way, I have not scripted this in any way. I just kind of saw this comment and it just kind of worried me because I have kind of gotten comments like this before, on my site. But this one was probably the biggest one out of all of them that I've gotten. So here we go. Here was his comments. The manufacturers are fake, too. They are just vendors acting as manufacturers. TDF website, they are scammers for vendors that overprice for dolls. If you can get a hold of the manufacturer, you can get a good price on real brand dolls. By finding them, this is very tricky. All of the dolls come from China, dude. The vendors are ordering them from China for you and mark up a 1K doll to a 2K, 4K, so they make a nice profit. You're getting ripped off. A lot of these vendors that have their own websites were from Alibaba and AliExpress. It's one big scam. You have to get a hold of a real manufacturer and buy from them to get a fair price. These guys on these websites like WM Doll and stuff like that, that's not the real manufacturer. It's just a vendor that bought the website and is acting like the owner, charging 3K for dolls that are like $800 from the real vendors. It's funny you're still being scammed, haha. It took me about a month to get a hold of the real manufacturers for some of these different brands. It's only way you can get one of these nice dolls for under 1K. All these vendors are going to do is jack up the price and rip you off. You're better off buying a knockoff on eBay. They're almost the same and only about 500 than paying 2K or 3K for a doll that's almost the same. Just check the feedback to make sure most of the customers are happy with their orders. Okay, so that was his comment on my video this morning. And this is my comment back to him. And again, I'm not trying to make this guy look bad. We're all subject to misinformation sometimes. I don't know where you're looking up your info. I've already heard of these claims besides. Synthetics and Real Doll are actually from America, as well as a few others and some other doll sites that places are actually in Europe, by the way. Yes, some of these dolls are jacked up in price, but that's because their materials and craftsmanship are better and more expensive. And a site like WM Doll is actually partnered. Let's see, where was that? Or actually partnered with the main manufacturer, not a knockoff. Those cheaper sites you're talking about are supposedly the real deal. Wait, yeah. Those cheaper sites you're talking about that are supposedly the real deal are actually putting more vinyl plastic in their dolls to make them cheaper than the ones with the more silicone with the TPE dolls, and saying that they're made of high quality materials. By the way, I would not suggest getting a doll on eBay or Amazon. Just go directly to the source. You can't see much of a difference with the cheaper ones, but I guarantee you they won't last as long. And it will require more care and less harm and so on. You are definitely the first person I've met that has stated that the TDF, the doll forum, is a fraud, and the sites might not be cheap, but normally aren't fraud, at least under normal circumstances. You might want to look at the source of your info before passing judgments. Just looking up feedback is not enough anymore. So that was my comment back to him. And again, it's like I said, I'm not trying to make anybody look dumb. But what this guy was talking about is simply not true. And I don't know if he got his information from a group or forum of guys that he talks to or what. But yeah, a lot of what this guy is saying is just simply not true. I mean, next to me, now the TDF forum actually has also Real Doll. And again, this is a Real Doll sitting right next to me. And he is calling Real Doll a non-legitimate site. Now, there's a reality. You guys have also seen my TPE doll, which I have shown on the site on my YouTube channel as well. There's a harsh reality when it comes to these dolls, all right? When you think about buying from a site, look into the source. Don't just look at the feedback. Feedback is a good thing to look into, but the best thing yet you want to do when it comes to a lovedoll site that you're thinking about buying from and you aren't sure if it's a legit site, source where it is from. Source where it is from, and just look at all its sources in general. That is probably the best thing that you could do. That will help you quite a bit, especially if it's on Amazon. What I wouldn't recommend Amazon, by the way, of course, but also the harsh reality that some people will look at some of these cheaper sites and they will think, well, this site is cheaper than this site, so that must mean that this site is a fraud. Well, I hate to tell you this, but it's like I told him, these cheaper sites that will call out, hey, our dolls are made out of high quality material. Well, the truth of the matter is that these cheaper dolls lots of times are just made out of more vinyl plastic to make them cheaper. And it is just a mess. I mean, it's okay if you want to buy a cheaper doll. If that is what you want, that is okay. But I will also say this. These cheaper sites also do not allow for customization like these other more expensive sites. And they will also require more repair. They will require more care. In fact, sometimes these dolls will not even be able to be repaired because of how cheap they are. And because of no customization and no ingenuity, which is another reason why, let's say, a doll from Real Doll is so expensive. If you get a love doll from Real Doll, you aren't just paying for the doll itself. You're also paying for experimentation. These people are looking to make better dolls in the future. Just like how over a year ago, they came out with AI for their dolls on a large scale and are now pushing AI. And that takes a ton of money. And so they have to actually fork out a little more money with their dolls whenever you buy one from them. That, and if a site also is giving, let's say customization options, you're also paying for that. And, these other sites that are cheaper, they tend to not have any add-ons, for their dolls, at least not very many. And they do not give out any basic information on how to care for your dolls because they don't want to give you any information on how to care for your doll because they want you to neglect your love doll so that you have to buy another one from them. So you have to fork out another $400 to $500 for another one of their dolls, which is why I do not like these scam sites. It is just ridiculous. And if you go to these love doll sites, you will notice that they don't give a damn about how much you're taking care of your doll, because they want you to neglect it, so you have to buy another one from them. And so in the long run, you actually are just losing out on money, actually. And so, and another reality when it comes to the price of these dolls, yes, they are a bit jacked up on price, but just like I said, you aren't just paying for the doll itself. You're paying for other things as well. I mean, also just with the fact of the matter, these are top quality materials. I mean, if you get a pack of condoms, that can easily be $5 to $10 right there for the latex that the condoms are made out of, and the manufacturing and the testing that they do with them, just for fucking condoms. I mean, just for a thing of silicone that's like this much can easily cost you a few $100s by itself, just by the thing of silicone by itself. And another reality is that when it comes down to it, do you want the minivan or do you want the Ferrari? Do you want the TPE doll that's $1,000? Do you want the fabric doll that's maybe $900 from, let's say, Teddy Babes? Or do you want the silicone doll, or AKA the Ferrari? Which is, of course, just like a Ferrari, a bit jacked up on price. And again, I wish they were a little cheaper myself. But the reality is that if you want the Ferrari, you're just going to have to fork up a bit more money to get it, which sucks, but that's just the reality. Now, if you guys have any more questions and comments, I will try to answer them. And of course, I'll try to not make you look like an idiot, because that's not what I'm trying to do. And I will see you guys later. Bye.